Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we have the latest in the EOS R system. This is the R3. So what is the R3? The R3 is a revolutionary new camera, chock full of firsts for Canon. That includes the back illuminated sensor, the multifunction shoe, and the Control Autofocus, which we'll talk about more in a minute. Some of the other top line specs we should mention are 24.1 megapixel full frame back illuminated stacked CMOS sensor, an electronic shutter at approximately 30 frames per second, and the ability to silence the shutter, and a 5.76 million dot 120 frames per second electronic viewfinder. The R3 does have a dual memory card slot, one being for CF Express Type B and the other for UHS 2 SD. You may have noticed that the form factor is very similar to Canon's flagship 1DX Mark III, but the R3 is significantly lighter while retaining some of the same dust-proof and weather-resistant capabilities. We did have an opportunity to go out and shoot with the camera, and one of the things we tried out in stills mode was subject detection for vehicles. So you'll notice in the stills that we're posting here, the camera did a great job of tracking the cars as they crossed the sensor. We also went out to the golf course and tried out the silent shooting mode, as well as the 30 frames per second burst capabilities, and ended up with some really great shots. While at the golf course, we also tried out some of the video capabilities. So we shot high frame rate, 120p and 4K. We also shot 24p and were impressed by the lack of distortion thanks to the electronic shutter. We also wanted to test out the low light capabilities of the back illuminated sensor, so we headed over to Tony's, our favorite watering hole, where our homie Morgan poured us a drink. So you'll notice that even at ISOs of over 12,000, the R3 performed really well in a dimly lit environment. As we mentioned earlier, the R3 is the first EOS camera to feature the multifunction shoe. So that means you can use flash synchronization, the wireless shotgun mic, and other accessories soon to be released. Another first we mentioned is the Control Autofocus. Now what this does is it tracks the user's eye so you can lock onto targets in the viewfinder and it'll follow and focus onto whatever you're looking at. Something else everybody wants to know is what are the internal limitations for temperature and for recording times. So you are able to record up to 4K 30 with no limitations, 4K 60p with 60 minutes of recording at both standard and high, 4K 120p with 12 minutes of recording at both standard and high, or 6K 60p RAW with 25 minutes of recording at standard, or 60 minutes of recording on high. The question we always ask ourselves is, who's this camera for? Well, the R3 is a high-performance stills camera, but for my video folks, this is Canon's first back illuminated sensor, answering the call for a low-light king in this small form factor. The R3 is priced at $5,999 with availability expected by the end of the year. As always, thanks for watching. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, give us a like, and stay tuned for more videos like this in the future.